How many videos about Arknights is that in a row? Probably too many. So let's make another one. The more you play Arknights, the more you realize that this game wants you to stay on forever. I feel like the devs get offended when you want to get off. Oh, so you want to get off after playing for 19 hours straight? You might as well stay on the game so you can do your dailies for tomorrow. And those take a good while, so you need to get comfy. Oh, you have work tomorrow? Well, you need to call off, unless you want me to make these dailies even longer in the next update. Endfield feels like one of those old school gacha games where everything is an inconvenience to do. And I don't know about you, but that does not make for a fun gameplay loop. Now, I'm not trying to force you to quit the game or anything. If you like it, then I think you should play it. But the reasons why this game is losing players by the day is very obvious to me now. Gacha games are casual games. So for Endfield to basically be forcing you to be heavily invested in order to interact with this game feels bad. And this is going to scare away a lot of players really fast. It's going to scare away players fast, and not just because of predatory monetization, but because if you fall far behind just for missing dailies from one day, and then the daily grind is a drag, then there is no place for casuals.
This is gonna be a drag.
The dailies take way too long to do. Endfield needs to just take a page out of Star Rail's book and just automate some of this daily shit so that you don't have to manually do virtual jobs for 30 minutes. Job. Obviously, they couldn't fully make the dailies auto-farmable because Star Rail has a turn-based combat system, and I would even rather Genshin's and Counterpoint system over Arknights dailies, and I can't believe I'm saying that because I don't even like the Counterpoint system because it's terrible. The Counterpoint system is also very inconvenient, but at least it doesn't take 45 minutes to deal with that. But at least you can get those dailies done faster, depending on what events you're available to do. But that can also be a drag because if the events are boring or it's one of those whale events, you know, you're screwed. First of all, it might be too late, so sorry about that. But the best thing you can do as a new player is reroll for Yvonne. It's funny because if you remember, they literally tried to stop people from re-rolling by trying to ban Gmail accounts, which might get into the Hall of Fame for dumbest decisions ever made by a gacha company ever. And that's very impressive because dumb decisions are made every day by these companies. But I don't understand why this game makes it so difficult to literally just acquire units, because by the way, you don't even get 4 stars for free, and not the 5 stars that are mostly actually pretty good. But I'm talking about you don't even get the actual 4 stars for free. The problem is the fact that compared to other games in the genre, there is not another game that makes it this difficult to get the characters. The gacha in this game just feels out of place. For how predatory it is, the characters are not even worth it. Maybe for the looks, but like, I guess if you're a gooner, then the characters are worth it to get. But for how predatory it is, a gacha system like this would make a lot more sense in other games, actually. But instead, it's stuck in Endfield. I could even understand a gacha system like this being in Wuthering Waves, and I don't want it to be in Wuthering Waves. Oh my goodness. I don't want to wish anything like this on Wuthering Waves. I take that back. I'm sorry. I was just trying to make an example. Please, Kuro, don't ever do anything like this. And I don't think they would. They're nothing like hypergriffs, so they wouldn't just actively ignore feedback and then put shit in the game that nobody asked for, like what Arknights Endfield is doing. Literally, beta testers were telling them that the gacha system was bad, and guess what they did? They still put the gacha system in the live game, and then they're still silencing criticism about it because they're just gonna close their eyes and ears and act like everything is okay and just watch that money come in. But anyways, if you know anything about me, I am a big believer in the gacha system for skins instead of characters in most of these games. And at this point, I think that Arknights would have been a lot better with a gacha system just for skins. Just think about it. The characters already look really good, and yes, they will make less money than they would for a gacha system like what they have right now, but I don't think it would be that bad of a drop off because a lot more casuals would still be playing to this day, and the game would just be a lot more enjoyable overall. The characters just needed to be unlocked by doing the story or something, or interacting with the factory. But this is what Do at Night Abyss did. Now, yes, I know this game is dead for the most part. I actually looked up DNA on Twitch the other day, and it had like 23 viewers total, which is ridiculous. But I'm pretty sure some people have never even heard of this game, so you might want to look it up as I'm talking about it, which sucks because I did have really high hopes for this game, and I thought that the no gacha would carry it pretty far, but it seems like nobody cares in the end. Anyways, in this game, you get a good amount of characters just from playing the main story, and then the rest of the characters are grindable by getting a currency that you passively get from playing the game called secret letters. And the most recent characters are unlocked through the end game, giving you an incentive to get to that point. So if Endfield had a system identical to Do at Night Abyss, I think that it would be a lot more successful instantly, at least in the media. Obviously, like I said, they probably would lose a good bit of money from a system like this, but I think in turn, people would be more excited to play the game. They would be happier to play it because cosmetics don't really affect your gameplay, but not being able to get 50%, 60%, 70% of the new characters that come out in the game is going to affect people's happiness or overall satisfaction playing the game. What I'm hoping for is that one day, hopefully soon, they realize like, oh shit, we just lost 70% of the audience that was playing this game from day one. Maybe we should at least make the gacha system better, at least. Because they know that the gacha is bad. They know it, come on. And that's why they don't want to receive criticism about it. They purposely made it bad and then did not change it when people told them over and over and over again, hey, this gacha system is absolute booty cheeks. But sadly, when it comes to the world of gacha, really predatory mechanics like this just sell. And the consumers are the ones who make it happen. So as corny as it sounds, we have to vote with our wallets. And trust me, if those numbers aren't looking too good on that gacha revenue, trust me, they will pull a ZZZ and make some very much needed changes. And I got to be careful mentioning ZZZ nowadays because I know some people get really defensive when I bring up their game, even though I make fun of every single gacha game, and it really isn't that serious. But I'm assuming they're extra sensitive right now because of the situation that got going on. But anyways, do not give these Arknight devs a single penny, especially if you are not completely satisfied with this game, because it will never get better. The only thing that they will listen to is your wallet, because at the end of the day, this is a product. Okay, so as I was recording this video, the gacha revenue chart came out. So let's take a look at gacha PvP. Okay, cool. As long as Genshin Impact is number one.
What?
I was scared that we fell off, guys. I was really scared. I was about to have a heart attack. So that means Genshin Impact is still the best gacha game ever and better than Arknights, more importantly. So in your face. Okay, so I forgot to change my tone when I was talking about Genshin Impact, but obviously I was being sarcastic. Anyways, the numbers are going to be inflated for Endfield right now because the game just came out, but I think that the revenue is going to stay pretty high, maybe about 15 milli, because it's easy to spend a lot of money on this game. Wait, where's HSR? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Wait, Star Rail. What? Your word of the day today is files. Yes. Today we are talking about the infamous Epstein files. Now, recently I've been on Twitter, sadly, but I've seen some of the images come out from the recent Epstein files release. And you know how I feel about Twitter. It's literally the worst place on earth. And I will stand on that. I'm not even saying I'm like the best person or anything, but some of these people on Twitter are straight up psychopaths, and I feel like it just doesn't get talked about enough. Anyways, the recent Epstein files release is pretty disturbing, especially the pictures that can be found on Twitter. I find it insane that all of this evidence can come out for people in power being completely corrupt and evil, and nothing will come of it. And the fact that the director of the FBI himself literally lied under oath, talking about, oh yeah, the Epstein files, yeah, there's nothing in there, it's all just completely. And then there is literal mountains of evidence of very powerful people doing literally some of the worst things you can do as a human being. But anyways, I think this really just goes to show, all in all, you shouldn't trust or look up to anyone. A lot of people that sit on a high seat in our society did horrible things to get where they are. And you can see that clear as day now. Nobody is a supermodel. Everyone is imperfect. You should focus on bettering yourself instead of looking up to these awful people in the world. Once again, I'm not one to talk. I'm a very imperfect person myself, but I'll tell you one thing. I haven't done any of that weird shit that is in the Epstein files. Goodness gracious. If these people aren't going to be punished for this inhumane behavior, then do your part and don't idolize and admire these people and focus on yourself. Maybe go to the gym, go to a park by yourself, or just go for a walk. Do things you enjoy. Thank you so much for watching this far if you have. You look cute today.